Inter Milan with a 2-0 victory over Napoli today. Atalanta winning as well away against Parma. We'll talk about that a little later on. But first, Shaka and Don, let's talk about Inter. This game kind of instantly forgettable. Overall, Don, how do you assess their season, considering, look, they're going to finish second, you reckon?
I think it's been average. I expected a lot more from Antonio Conte. I mean, the last 3 games that I've watched them live, I've seen them draw 0-0 against Fiorentina, and that was just a bore fest. I've seen them draw 2-2 against Roma, and they probably shouldn't have got anything out of the game tonight. And their defence was really, really good tonight. But going forward, I mean, they're so one-paced, they don't get you off your seat. You think, even when they're controlling the game, which they did for 30 minutes of the game, I thought they were quite good when they come out of traps and got a 1-0 lead. But then they allowed the opposition, Napoli, to come back into the game. Second half, Napoli were far better, the best side. And then Inter scored in the last 10 and 15 minutes, but not great to watch. I expected a lot more from Antonio Conte's men this season.
Yeah, they have kind of let their fan base down, and those who were thinking that maybe they could push Juventus all the way, Shaq.
Yeah, and listen, I understand everything that Don's saying, but the truth of the matter is that I don't think anybody realistically expected them to push Juventus. A Juventus team that added Cristiano Ronaldo a couple of seasons ago, and Inter Milan turned to Romelu Lukaku, Alexis Sanchez, and then Ashley Young, 3 players who could barely get into the Manchester United team. Listen, I think second place for Inter is an accomplishment. I never thought they'd leapfrog Juventus. But Don is also right. You expected more in terms of the football. But this is who Antonio Conte is. The grind results out. That's what Inter did. Everything that is said on the tin to start the season.
If you're Inter, Don, what do you do in the summer to make yourself more competitive against Juve?
I think you've got to buy more attacking players. And what you don't do is sell Lautaro Martinez. If you sell him, then you're short. Alexis Sanchez has actually had a good end to the season, but I don't think he's going to get you anywhere near 20 goals a season. Christian Eriksen, I've got no idea what's happened to him because he was bad when he left Tottenham. His form was gone. His confidence was gone. I expected him to play well in Italy under Antonio Conte, given that number 10 position. He looks as though his confidence is gone. He doesn't look as though he's got a yard of pace. Even the sort of half pace that he had, you always sort of got a trick out of him. You got a pass out of him. You certainly got loads of assists out of him. But I've seen nothing over the last half a dozen games. So I think if you're Antonio Conte, you need to get more at your players. You've got people like Brozovic, who's a good player. Nicola Barella is the real star there, but he's stifling him as well. So top end of the pitch, it's a must that you don't sell your best players.
Percentage chance of Napoli going through against Barcelona in that second leg, Don?
I think there's a chance.
Really?
Yeah, I do. I think when you look at the form of people like Insigne and Dries Mertens, Arkadiusz Milik, Callejon, if he plays, there's good enough players to trouble Barca. The trouble with Barca is they've still got world-class players and ridiculously good players like Messi, and then dependent on the form of Griezmann and Suarez. So, Barcelona on their day can rip anyone apart, but this is certainly not the Barcelona that I've been watching over the last, decade.
Meanwhile, who would have thought when we were talking about Atalanta against PSG, the conversation that we had yesterday, a lot of the boys now, Don, going for Atalanta to go through because of that injury to Mbappe, because of their continued good form, of course, stretching that unbeaten run today with that victory against Parma. Who are you siding with in this tie?
It's a difficult one because I'll take you back to September when PSG played Real Madrid in Paris and they didn't have Kylian Mbappe in that game and they beat them 3-0. And they were absolutely brilliant. It was one of the best performances I've seen PSG for a long time because they looked solid and they stiffened up the midfield. He played a 3 in midfield and they looked really good. With this Atalanta side, Gasperini is one hell of a manager. His tactics are quite bizarre. He takes his best players off. He rotates them every now and again. Case in point tonight, when you watch the first half against Parma, they were so bad, Atalanta, and he obviously got right into them at half-time, and he changed 1 or 2 little positions. Muriel came on, had an impact. Papu Gomez got the winner, and then as soon as Papu Gomez scored, he dragged them off because the team and the result is the most important thing, and they won the game 2-1. So with Gasperini in charge, they've got one hell of a chance.
How big a chance, Don?
I think I would put it as a 50-50. I would. I'd put it that close.
On the fence.
Listen, Barca on the day, as we all know, are a terrific side. But I just get the feeling when I watch Barca, they're not
PSG,
the same.
It's PSG, Don. Come on.
Sorry, go on.
PSG, not Barca. That was the other
Sorry,
one.
PSG. Sorry, PSG.
That was late.
No, listen, I think it's a 50-50. I think without Mbappe, contradiction, as I said before, they didn't play him in the first leg against Real Madrid in September. But I think it's that close because Atalanta have been banging in 6s and 7s against everyone this season.
Who would you choose?
At a push, if you had to nail me, I'd say just PSG.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.